because I don't talk about people, but I invested $10,000 into a pre-order.
But explain Forex and like what happened to Forex.
That's a thumbnail. What happened to Forex? I wouldn't say like the wrong people. Like I'm not around crackheads, but I was just around people like a crackhead is just as bad as someone not doing.
Everywhere. We are back with another episode. Everybody hates Jabber. I don't even know what this is, like episode 18, episode 19, somewhere around there. But hey, man, we are going strong. You guys already know how it's going. And like we just said in the previous pods, we are now streaming everywhere. So anywhere you guys listen to podcasts at, whether that be Apple, Spotify, YouTube, anywhere you guys get it, you guys can go there, type in Everybody Hates Jabber, and you will see us up. So let's go. We are happy to announce that, and we are so excited to be bringing you guys this podcast to all platforms. Man, today, guys, I'm not even going to hold you too much longer. Y'all see the man. We got a dope guest for you guys today. Texas legend out here. We got Nick Felix, the man, the myth, the legend. Man, how's it going, bro? How you doing, man?
I feel good. It's Wednesday. It's almost the weekend.
Yeah. You just got back from SneakerCon Chicago, man.
Yeah, Chicago was crazy. First 2-day event of the year.
Yeah.
Cool.
That was the first 2-day event?
Yeah, they've been doing 1-day events, but this is the first 2-day. It went crazy.
Yeah.
It's a good relationship. They take care of us. Alan's dope, the owner. Rory, the media director, put me under his wing. Yeah. But, I wouldn't say too much, but yes, it's going well right now.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. That's dope. Like, because I mean, you've been going to a lot of sneaker cons, and like your content, you've been making a lot of content at SneakerCon. Which, bro, I fucking love your content, bro.
Yeah,
I do, bro.
I like your content,
bro. Because the thing about your content, bro, is like usually like especially the SneakerCon videos that like you put on like the reels, bro. They're short, but it's so fucking like. It's so much, bro. Like, there's so much going on in, like, that 1 minute. You know what I mean? And, like, I don't know. Do you, like, edit? Like, I know you got a guy that does.
Yeah, shout out my videographer, GG Visuals, Visual Market. Bro, he's the best in Texas right now.
I literally went and followed him. Yeah, bro. Because I'm like, if this is the dude that's doing the edits, I'm like, this dude is cold, bro.
I don't touch the camera. I'm just the prop piece.
Yeah. That's fire, bro. That's fire. But, yeah, so, like, talk about that. Like, how does it feel to, like, gone from someone who was just attending sneaker cons, maybe like from like the very first day you ever went to SneakerCon? Did you start vending from the very beginning? Or
yeah, that's like actually a crazy question. So like, to be honest, growing up, I didn't even care about sneakers.
Yeah.
I wore the same Adidas shell tops. My mom would have to tell me like, your shoes are dirty. We need to go get you another pair. Yeah. And she'd be like, pick something different. I just get the shell tops. Yeah. And then one day, I don't remember if I had just graduated high school. Yeah, I just graduated. You know, like you got some friends that stayed in town, some that went, state to state to go to school. Yeah. But a couple of my boys I went to school with stayed in town. One of them was a big sneakerhead. His name was actually Bronson. There's no way he watches this, but if he does, he was really the catalyst to all this sneaker stuff. I don't even think he knows that. Yeah. I didn't care about sneakers. One day he just shot me a text. We weren't even that close. He's like, SneakerCon's coming to town. I don't even like crowds. Yeah. I don't like going to carnivals. I like going out, but like being private. Yeah. So I was like, SneakerCon, like, okay. And I ended up going with him, and I just saw like, I'm addicted to business. I'm addicted to building business, like just anything entrepreneur. So going to that first SneakerCon, this is probably like 2017, maybe 2016. Yeah. I think it was 2016, but going to that first SneakerCon and just seeing how much money was moving around and just like, if you go to any SneakerCon and you just add up each booth, we're talking millions. So it just like, it just infatuated me. And ever since then, like I didn't miss any SneakerCon in Dallas. And then now, we travel with SneakerCon like everywhere.
Yeah, that's kind of how it was for me too, bro. Like that first time, bro, like I went to SneakerCon, I was like, whoa. And SneakerCon was like I think it was the very first event that I ever went to, bro. Like I hadn't even done any events.
Me too.
Walked into Ten Toes one day, and then Cam was like, you going to SneakerCon this weekend?
Cam,
like,
Ten Toes?
Yeah. I'm like, SneakerCon. I'm like, what's SneakerCon? He's like, bro, it's like the biggest event, da-da-da-da. And I'm like, nah, bro. Like, I didn't even hear nothing about it. And I got in the car, and I looked at my girl, and I'm like, Dallas this weekend.
Let's go.
She
Exactly.
Like, let's go. Like, I'd be down.
It just gave me the excuse to start buying things to see if I could sell it. Because everybody growing up has extra money. You're either going to waste it on bullshit or you're going to buy something that could make you a profit.
Right.
Whether it goes up in value or whether you could just sell anything. Yeah. You know, you could put yourself to the test. So yeah, that first SneakerCon, I went as a, you know, just a GA ticket, and then the next one I was in the little trading pit. Yeah. And I ran up like probably 12 to 1500 in one day. I'm like, nah, this is crazy. Yeah. And just snowball. Yeah, that's how it's saying, bro. Like that first one, bro, I think I sold my card out in like before I even got in the door. Yeah, that's how it goes. Having like 1500 to go in. You probably had a bunch of bricks, right? Like you shit. You said what? You had some bricks. It kind of. But I had some good stuff. Like I had a pair of like Hyper Royals. So okay, that was a good one. It was like whenever they first dropped. What'd you sell it for? I honestly, bro, I couldn't even. So far, I sold it so long in bulk. Oh yeah, so, you got jugged for sure. Yeah, for sure. Everybody got jugged from some bulk. I know I got jugged for bulk. Bro, definitely. Looking back on it now, bro. When you're an early vendor, you don't know any better. Someone pulls out that Kevo kick stack of cash. It's like, fuck it. Like I broke even many times from like getting bulked out. Just like those people that come to your booth, like this is back in the day though, for everybody who's doing it. It's like, all right, how much for this one? And you're already excited, like, oh shit, I got some play. Yeah. 300. What if I add this, and this? And now we know, like, all right, get this guy on my booth. But back then it was like, okay, like going to your spreadsheet. I got jugged so bad on some Yeezy statics. Like I put in the legwork. I went to a bunch of malls. My young gunners, I had them in line. We probably got like 30 pairs, no bot, just like footwork. Yeah. And I ended up selling them all like probably. He jugged me so hard, he ended up getting all of them. He had a body bag he put all the damn Yeezys in, but it was at Kicklahoma, and he, I probably made like 20 over retail, and those shoes went up in the next like 3 months, like to 400. The Static 350, it was the first, I don't even know the type, but like not a V2, but like that one with the line in it. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. With like the little supply line or whatever? Not like supply is V2, and then when they made the statics, it kind of had like that clear thing where you could see your sock. Yeah, you could see your sock. But anyway, static story. Yeah, bro. It never fails, bro. It never fails. But anyway, let's back up a little bit, man, and let's just start with like who is Nick Felix, bro? Like if someone were to ask you, who are you? What would you tell them? Shit, I'm just like you. And what does that mean? I'm a regular person. I just have a crazy routine, and I'm just obsessed. That's really it. Only difference. Discipline, would you say? Yeah, discipline. I mean, all the shit they preach, but it's real. Yeah. But yeah, I'm just Nick Felix. I just go where I think the waves are, and I just think we got into sneakers at the right time. And I don't really even attach myself to sneakers. It's kind of like a business I just fell into. But that's a good question. Maybe I need to think about like more who I am. But I'm just regular, bro. I'm not anybody special. So you're kind of still in that where you're like trying to figure out like who you are. And stuff, I wouldn't say try to figure it out. Just like I don't want to give myself too big of a title. Like it's just like, you know, I'm just someone that's super consistent, relentless, and just obsessed with like not having to go work a 9 to 5. So I'm willing to do anything I need to do, just like you, running this podcast, making videos. You know, you could do this for a year and see no return, but 2 to 3 years later, it could bring you 6-7 figures. So it's just like running those races. That's what I'm about, just running the race. Right. So like, and then like, now you got you, like, who are your parents? Like, what do they do? Like, talk about them. Okay, yeah. So, you know, my dad has worked the same IT job since I was little. So he was fortunate to hold the same job. It's kind of like a pro and a con there. You're stuck in the same spot doing the same thing, but there's consistency. Yeah. My mom, she actually didn't even graduate college. She's kind of like me. My dad graduated college, got his job. Mm-hmm. My mom didn't graduate. She was a chef. She did a couple entrepreneurship ventures. So, like, I like to say I got it from my mom, but I remember early on my dad, like, showing me eBay. Like, I want to go get a game from Blockbuster. He would teach me patience. Like, look, you can go to Blockbuster and get it for $49.99, or you can get on eBay and you can get it for $24.99. I'm like, nah, I don't want to wait. But those things stuck with me as I got older. So I had a good upbringing. I can't complain. My parents are still together. I have a sister. She's a little bit older than me, but I always classify myself as like the rich child. Like I haven't worked a job, don't plan on working a job, and like how I look at it is I'm just fortunate enough to go like try to do whatever I want, and I'm not gonna fail. But if I were to fail at the worst way possible, I'm fortunate enough that I could always go back and just be, you know, still good. A lot of people will go try to make it happen, not have something to fall back on. Yeah. Not that I fall back on my parents. I don't get any money. I've been independent since 18, but I just know how much they support me. So like, if I were to crash out because I try to do something like major, I would be straight. So I just like literally would try anything.
Nah, I love that you say that though, bro. Especially like that you classify yourself as the rich child.
The rich child.
Bro, like, and nowadays, bro, like a lot of people, everybody wants to be the one that got it from the mud. You know what I mean? Like, I got it out the mud. Like, and there's nothing wrong with getting it out the mud, but bro, there's nothing wrong with being the rich child. You know what I mean?
No, not the rich. The risk.
Oh, the risk.
Rich child. I
thought you were saying the rich
I wish I grew up rich. Hey, my first car was a 97 Toyota Celica with like 200,000 miles. Nah, the rich child, like, I'll just go out there and risk it just because at the end of the day, that's what you got to think about. Like, if you were to fail in your venture right now and you still have a home to go move back to and parents that like are stable, you should be going as hard as possible. Yeah. But if you know, if you're somebody that doesn't have a good relationship with their parents, you might be scared to go after that big dream because if you fail, shit, you might be homeless. Yeah. But I'm not in that situation. Right. Not that I'm rich or my parents are rich, but I would have a couch to sleep on, AC, a shower, and I could run it back up.
Well, I mean, and even that, bro, like, even that is good to, like, I mean, it's dope that you're, like, willing to admit that, you know what I mean? Because, like I said, that still applies. Like, a lot of people want to say that, like, they don't have no support. I ain't got that, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got it, like, but, like, and then they want to, like, throw shade at the people that do have that support, the people that do have the parents to fall back on and stuff. And I'm just like, bro, like, isn't that the whole fucking point? Like,
nah,
you know what I mean? As a parent, like, I'm not a parent yet, but whenever I have a kid, I want to be able to give them every advantage in life, you know what I mean, that I can, you know what I'm saying, that I possibly can. And if, like you said, bro, like if they're doing something good for themselves, they crash out in the worst way, like I want to be able to be there to support them and help them get back on their feet.
Exactly.
Like, and not to say that, like, you know what I'm saying, you would let them take advantage of you or anything like that, but like as a parent, like that's pretty much what you're supposed to do. Like that's your child. That's a lifelong commitment. It's not until they're 18, you know what I mean?
Lifetime.
Kicked out the door and out the house, you know what I mean? Like as a parent, like you should want to be there and help your child like through whatever. So like it's just, it always like kind of pissed me off a little bit, like whenever people would kind of have that assumption, because like I kind of grew up like that too, like where like my mom, she didn't really, like my mom and dad, they didn't have nothing really. My dad didn't really have nothing to do with me really, and then like my mom in and out of prison, drug addict, you know what I'm saying? But my aunt and uncle, like they stepped up, bro. Like God, the most blessings to them, bro.
That's
God
major.
placed them in my life like at the perfect time. And my uncle was kind of like the same way like your dad, like he had a job that he started working at when he was 19.
Held it down.
Bro, and like he held it down, bro, till he was 60-something years old and retired. You know what I mean? Like over 40-something years. But I also want to talk about that. Like, how do you think that, like, that affected you? And, like, did your dad, like, did he try to, like, push for you to get a job, like, super hard? Like, because I know my uncle, like, he still to this day, like, even though, like, he does support me, what I do right now, and, like, he's, you know, always, you know, got my back and stuff, he's also, like, make sure you keep a job, too, you know what I mean? Just in case, like, if something happens, you know? And, like, I also, like, I feel that and I respect that, but at the same time, I'm like, I kind of wish that wasn't so programmed in me. Cause it's like hard for me to go out there and give it 100%. You know what I mean? Like, 'cause I'm kind of scared, I guess, of that.
I think times change. Like, I think parents in this era are always going to tell their kids, like, have something, some point of security or have a job, just because there hasn't been a full, like, 100-year era where everybody had social media or everybody could make an LLC or everybody could go get credit. So it's like 40 years ago, they didn't have podcasts. They didn't have YouTube. They didn't, like, we can learn anything. Literally, I tell people who I work with that all the time. They're like, I can't figure this out. I'm like, that's a lie. We have the internet. Like, the smartest people I ever met are just problem solvers. Yeah. But going back to what you said, what did you ask me? You said...
Like, did your dad, like, kind of, like...
did they push me to go for a job? So I started working when I was 15 at Smoothie King. I think you had to be 16, but I was, like, annoying. My sister worked there, so I kind of had the in. Yeah. No other place would hire me, and I just kept telling the boss, let me work. And I started working there at 15. So I worked from, like, 15 to probably 19, and then that was my last job. Now I'm 26. So I'm trying to think on that. Like how to answer that question, right? So did he push me when it came to, or did they push me to get a job? They always wanted me to keep a job. Okay, so this is how I answer the question. I got my first job was Smoothie King. Then I worked at movie theaters, Lifetime Fitness, Target, Jimmy John's. And like, it just so happened my last job was Smoothie King. Yeah. So I'm working at Smoothie King in Euless. Yeah. 15, and then I was working at Smoothie King in Denton. I was probably like 19 or 20. And when I got fired, I got fired from my last job. But it was the one time, you get fired. Like, what kind of feeling do you get when you get fired? Have you been fired?
Yeah, I've been. Yeah.
How'd it feel?
It just depends. Like, if it's a job that I low key don't want, I'm kind of a little bit relieved.
You're relieved, but you also got that thought of like, damn, where's this money gonna come from? I gotta go meet a whole new staff. I gotta make friends again. What if I don't like it? What if my boss isn't chill? So we all have those thoughts. But I got fired, and that's when I realized, I was like, honestly, like, I'm a firm believer in everything happens for a reason. Yeah. And at this point, I started reading books and just like starting to trust life. Mm-hmm. So when I got fired, I didn't question it, and I just stepped up my hustle. And when I started making like $2,000 a month, and I showed my parents that, like, they were on me. They were on me. Like, what are you doing? Because if I was in college at the time, mm-hmm. I have rent to pay, and I'm not working a job. So what do my parents think? I'm doing drug dealing or something? But I was really just, I always say it, legal bricks. I'm getting these shoes off. I'm getting this merch off. I'm getting these collectibles off. And I just found the system to get myself to like 2 bands a month, mm-hmm. and I dropped out of school. Mm-hmm. I made like 2 bands a month for like, that's not even a lot, but like profit. Yeah. For like 4 or 5 months straight. And long story short, I ended up doing an internship a few semesters later, and like the total salary was like $60,000. No, that's a lie. That was a starting, but I had shadowed a guy that was like so my major was criminal justice. We're like going down a whole rabbit hole, but
no, go ahead, man.
You got me on that like mindset of like, okay, did your dad want you to work a job? Like they always did, but this is kind of how I like shied away from that. I really just I saw that I had the ability to make 2 bands a month off social media, off someone else's product being shoes. Mm-hmm. And then I did an internship at the, what is it called? The DA's office in Denton. Mm-hmm. I was going to be a cop.
Dang,
Imagine me being a cop.
That's crazy.
I wasn't going to be a cop. I really knew in my head when I went to college, I was like, I'm not going to work a job. Yeah. Like I got that it factor. I just need to figure out where to plug it in, and it ended up being shoes and speaking and a whole lot of other things. But I had that internship, and I was shadowing the chief investigator. So you have like cops, I don't even remember you have like different branches, like the sexual assault team, the drug team, whatever, detectives. Yeah. And then you have chief investigator. He's like the top. Yeah. He has a top office, all this shit. So basically, a week into the internship, he told me he was making $100K, and he was like 62. Yeah. And I was like, oh shit, I got to get out of here. I finished that internship and I dropped out. And then like, I just went hard, bro. But when I showed my parents I can make my own, they let me do my thing. But I always tell people, your parents always want security for you more than they want massive success, because that comes with risk. But I'm the risk child. So I told them that was it.
Yeah. Dang, that's crazy, bro. And I just relate to that so much, bro, and that's kind of like, I'm in that position now with my uncle where I'm like showing him that like I'm able to do other things, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I do still have a job, you know what I'm saying? But like, I'm also showing him like I'm able to like make as much money, you know what I'm saying, dang near like selling shoes almost as like I am working a regular job.
If not
but like
more.
Now I'm also like kind of transitioning out of shoes, you know what I'm saying? Kind of like, I mean, I still do sell shoes and stuff, but like I just don't want it to be like my main thing, you know what I mean? Like,
times are changing. Like, I don't want men's shoes to be my thing forever. Yeah. I look at it as just a big cash cow right now. Yeah. And obviously a lot of people know me through credit, so I'm able to acquire a lot more inventory. If I was doing this out of my own pocket, I would be working a job right now. It's impossible. Right. But if I could buy hundreds of thousands in inventory and the average person can barely buy 10,000, that's an advantage, Right. So sure. The shoes is hard though. Like just doing shoes with no capital, like shit, good luck.
Yeah, it's tough, bro. It really is.
Especially now. Now. It's not 2021 anymore. We're not in Kansas anymore. It's just the trenches now. You got to show up every day. You got to do everything. Like it's just crazy.
Me. So and also like you are, as most people could tell, like what are you mixed with, bro? You're black and white.
Black and white, straight schmut.
Yeah, so like how does that, like talk about like how it's been like growing up, like being black and white, where like you know what I'm saying, like you technically are half white, but in society's eyes,
I'm black. Yeah.
Like facts. You a nigga. There ain't no nigga around there. You's a nigga. Like, so like talk about like how does that feel?
Yeah, like I don't think I realized it growing up because like I just wasn't shown to see color, you know? My mom's whole family's white. They live in Texas. My dad has family in Texas. Most of them are in New York. So I got to see both sides. But I think what it did for me was just allow me to pick, like, you know, every gender has good, I mean, not gender, every race has good qualities. Yeah. And every race has some negative qualities attached to it. Right. That's fair to say. Right, so sure. I just picked and choose wisely. I'm obviously, I'm not perfect in today's age, but I just think it opened my eyes up to just see just different routines, different habits, depending on your environment. Yeah. You know, I'm not going to say which one was better or worse, but there was times I go visit family with my mom and I'd like the environment. I wouldn't. There's times I would go visit, you know, my dad's side of the family and I like environment and I wouldn't. And it just showed me where you could be or where you could go, you know, just get your habits right. So, you know, I was never someone to really see color, but looking back at everything, it was big differences on both sides. And I think it's good to be able to see it. Just gave me like a broader perspective of life. I didn't just see one side, you know? Yeah. Yeah, dude, that's for sure, bro. And like, cause me growing up, like I mean, I'm completely black, you know, both my parents are black, but I pretty much have always lived in like a predominantly white town, you know what I mean? Like I grew up in Coffeyville, Kansas, so there's a good mix of like black and white there, but like the school that I went to a private Christian school, so it was all white pretty much. Like my family was pretty much like the only black ones. There's a couple other ones, but not really many others. So like, I don't know, like you just kind of, once you kind of grow up around that and you kind of see both sides, I get what you're saying, like taking the good from each one. You know yeah, like, exactly. But and then same, like in reality, it's not even like the good from each one. It's just the good in people. You know what I mean? Like facts. That's what it boils down to. It's just like people are good and some people aren't good. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't think it's not directly at race, but like I think we could all agree that certain races have certain habits that race is just known for, not that family, not that person, not that individual, and you can pick and choose to make yourself a part of that statistic or not. Right. So it's like just pick the best. I'll take a little something from the Asian culture. I'll take a little something from the Indian culture. I'll take some food from the Indian culture. I'll take style from, you know, the black culture, whatever it is, like, and I'll just put it in myself. Shit. For sure, bro. So, like, what has been one of your toughest battles to overcome, like, growing up in life and stuff? It's, like, my old story, but it's kind of how this happened. So, like, I grew up playing sports, but I think everybody says that. I really thought I was going to go all the way in sports. I went to a good school, top division in football. I was on varsity as a sophomore. But obviously, we know I'm like 5'11", so it was iffy. And then, cornerbacks, I played corner, so the taller corners started getting a little bit more popular. So, but like I said, everything happens for a reason. So, I actually did get a scholarship to go play football. And in the first semester, everything happens for a reason. I tore my labrum, like completely bad. It was like I had to get 7 screws, and my recovery was like 6 months. This is right after I graduate. So that was probably like the hardest time I've been through in a while. Yeah. I just like didn't know what my future held. I'm moving back home after the first semester where I'm thinking I'm going to be playing football my next 4 years. All my friends are at their new colleges, turning up, going crazy. I'm in my bed with a sling on, looking for an overnight job because I still need to make money. I'm just like, so... You know, it was like foggy back then, but I never got down on myself. I just got to the money. I flipped phones on the side. I worked at Target overnight from 4 to 9 a.m. with my sling. I would go to community college from like 1 to 3, and then I would deliver at Jimmy John's. I did this for a semester. So I worked 2 jobs, went to school while having a sling. And then after that, I was like, yo, I got to move out. Like, I'm a big believer in like having your own space, that environment. You can't become the best version of you around your parents. You can't be yourself. Did you ever used to think like this when you were little? Like social media just became a thing. We're really young. How old are you? 26. Okay, 26. So like think about when you were like 14, 15, and you're seeing social media like become a big thing. Like Wiz Khalifa, all these new people smoking weed on Instagram, posting girl. I used to think like, how do they do this and still talk to their parents? Like, how do their parents not disown them? I really feel like I used to be like in fear of what my parents thought. Definitely, bro. So, yeah. I don't know where I was going with that. What was I talking about? I completely. We were talking about overcoming one of your toughest battles and stuff.
Basically how like, you know,
so I was saying moving out the house. Yeah. So it was like, I just knew I needed to become my own person. My parents raised me so good, but I needed to go see more. My parents showed me like all they could. I needed to go like try and fail and make more money than I ever have and be around the wrong people and figure out how to move. So, yeah.
Dang. So like, and what did, like you said, being around the wrong people, did you ever like have that period of life where you kind of fell in with
I wouldn't say like the wrong people. Like I'm not around crackheads, but I was just around people. Like a crackhead is just as bad as someone not doing shit.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Pretty
like
much, yeah.
It doesn't matter if they're a user or whatever. If you're around people that don't have goals, that don't wake up every day motivated, like you gotta get new people around you. Yeah. If you can't change the people around you, change the people around you.
Yeah.
You may start with cutting people off, but that's what I did. I had friends that weren't bad people. It was just like I knew deep down before all this handful of hype, before any of this entrepreneurship going on for like 7 years, I knew deep down, like, I'm not working a 9 to 5. I want more than this. I'm willing to sacrifice anything.
Yeah.
And so when I would see friends like not align with that vision, it's not like I'm going to block you or cut you off, or it's just like, you know, I'm going to distance myself a little bit. And as I level up, I'm going to come back and see what you're on. If your mindset's gotten a little bigger, I'm going to spend more time around you. But if you're just on the same thing, like I'm trying to be different.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to be top percent. So it's like, you just got to think like, what's the top percent doing?
In that top 1%.
Top 3, top 5. Like I don't need to be 1, but like, you know, I just think you are who you hang around. Yeah. So I was never around like bad people. It was just like, but that's a good thing to say is like bad people could just be people with the wrong habits.
Yeah. Facts. I also heard that, I don't know if I can say this or not, but I heard that you have an NFL friend.
Oh, yeah. It's funny. I was just texting him. I just sent him a picture. Maxx Crosby.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool. So talk about like, how's that, bro? Like I was talking about that at work one day. Like we was just talking like, what would it be like if you grew up with like, I mean, your best friend, like somebody that you grew up with since a kid, like ended up going like to the league, like it was like good too, like not just like a regular bench player or something like that, but like actually was good. Like how would that be?
It's a good story in that. I was just texting him because you know the Knights won the NHL Stanley Cup last night. That's the Vegas team, so he's in Vegas.
Right.
It's just crazy. Like his name on my phone used to be owes me $1 because in high school, like. I would pay for all his shit, to be honest. Like, it's not like I was, but I had a job. You know, he didn't work a job. He was just chilling. But, man, like, the best story behind, you know, me and Max have been friends since middle school, how we became friends. We were on high school. We were on the football team. Mm-hmm. We both got moved up to varsity early, and we'd have team dinners every week. Mm-hmm. So I had my 97 Toyota Celica.
Yeah.
I didn't allow girls to get in it because I was embarrassed, but I let my boy get in it. So Max is my boy. So I put 2 12s in the Toyota Celica. Yeah. So now I'm riding around Colleyville, the whitest part of town, in this hoopty just thumping. And Max is white, but he listens to like Chicago drill music, like Chief Keef, Lil Reese, Tato, Ball, like all these people, and like he knows every word, every song. So like I didn't even like rap like that. I liked rap, but like Drake, Wiz, not like that hood like shit, Lil Durk shit. So we would get in the car and he would just play these songs, and we were just kids. Like we're going to team dinner, we're having fun. Like we were kind of popular in school, and that turned into his older brother actually modeled for Calvin Klein and went to SMU a few years before us. So like. When his brother was a senior, we were like freshmen, so we got like that grandfather treatment.
Yeah.
But his brother made music, so like when I put these on and I stepped in here with you, like people don't know this, but me and Max used to make music.
For real.
I have a CD in my safe right now, a mixtape. Me and Max dropped. Like I'll never sell it. I'll never like. We made like 2 or 3 mixtapes in high school because that was the thing to do back then. SoundCloud's new. Like fuck it, too, let's rap. So, but we really like we really started a wave at our school, to be honest, but that like locked us in making like 2 or 3 mixtapes like on the weekends. Instead of going to like parties, we would just go to my house and record, or we would go to Max's parents' house and record. And then he ended up getting an offer to Eastern Michigan, which is a D1 school, but they're kind of like they're not Alabama, it's not Texas. So to like summarize this whole story up, we didn't talk as much in college. Obviously, he's in Michigan. I'm in Texas. Yeah. But we stayed in touch, and when he'd be in town, we would hang out. And when he was about to graduate, it looked like he was going to go to the draft, and he did. He had an agent that did a really good job, and I'm trying to think. think he was supposed to get drafted a little earlier. He got drafted later. But yeah, he got drafted. I flew out when he first moved into when he moved to Oakland, because the Raiders were in Oakland before they moved to Vegas. Right. And I mean, it's just the same person. It's just cool to see how much. I just unplugged my mic. Am I good?
Oh, yeah, you're good.
Hold on. Oops, edit. I'll wrap the story up, though.
Yeah, no, you're good, bro.
But he's still the same person. But the story I wanted to say was what I learned from Maxx going to the league is, he had to. Eastern Michigan doesn't get big crowds at their games.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, you play a college, like you go to high school at a high, like performing football, like area like Texas, shit, you're getting crowds that are big.
Yeah. Texas,
you've seen them. So he goes to Eastern Michigan and like their crowds are small, but they're playing decent schools. So really what I look at and what I learned from how he was able to do that is, for 4 years, he kind of just accepted. He's not going to get the spotlight. He's not going to be the coolest person, but I guess he just continued to work hard. And when he went to the league, that's when he dropped alcohol. Everything went sober and like went Super Saiyan. He just signed for $100 million. So it's like, it's crazy.
That's crazy, bro. Yeah. And like, kind of like, I mean, like, how does it feel like? Just what kind of like level of like happiness do you feel towards that? Because I mean, that's your boy,
bro. It's just,
I know that like just the feeling of just like, dang, like my boy made it. Like, how does that feel, man?
So I'm gonna say it's undescribable, like it's me, but it's just like, bro, I'm so happy for him because It's funny. All of his closest friends would tell you, like, if Maxx didn't go to the league, we didn't know where the fuck he'd end up.
Yeah,
because it was just like, he wasn't the sharpest tool in the shed, but he turned it up. But it's cool to have that. He just had his wedding in Vegas. Flew out there as his groomsman, so it's just like he's gonna be great, bro. He'll go in the Hall of Fame. That's
gonna be so cool to just continue to watch him. You know what I'm saying, throughout his whole career, just like the whole time, like, damn, that's my boy.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to some games. I've been to a few games already, but that's my boy for real. Like he already knows. We don't have to talk about it.
Right.
Yeah.
So and then let's talk about college a little bit, man. Like, where did you go to college at?
I was in New Mexico, but I was only there for like half a semester. But I really served most of my college in Denton.
Oh, okay.
Like UNT.
Right. Okay. And you said you went to for criminal justice and stuff.
Yeah.
So what was that overall college experience? Because I never went to college, bro. Like,
oh really?
I never did, bro. Like, it's not necessarily a regret. But if I could go back, like, to my high school years, like, I would definitely do it better so that way I could at least go to college and get that experience. I might end up in the same position. I might have dropped out, but I wish that I could at least say that, like, I tried. You know what I mean? I gave it my best effort,
Yeah. What are, like, 3 top things I learned from college? One, I did rack up some debt. I didn't have a scholarship to go to UNT, but, like, student debt's not the end of the world. Not a lot. I think it was, like, $12,000 or something. It's gone now.
Yeah.
What did I learn? Like, top 3 things I learned in college. I'm trying to think. Honestly, college to me was kind of dry. I grew up in such a nice city with a great high school that, like, honestly, my high school was more lit than any college I went to. Yeah. We were doing shit we should not have been doing in high school. And so it was like I didn't have that crave to, like, let's get wasted. Like, there were nights, time and a place, but, like, I had already really gotten all that out. Like, this is like a raw, like, statistic. Probably shouldn't even say this, but, like, I'm way different now. But, like, in high school, I probably threw up from liquor, like, over 40 times. Like, we were really, like, So, and, like, in college, it was probably less than that. So I had learned by the time I got to college, like, I'm not trying to be cool. I'm trying to have some money.
Yeah.
That's really how I was thinking. So, it was cool though, walking the campus, meeting different people. There was one guy I did meet. He was an Indian kid. He had a bunch of gold on in one of my classes. I'm like, damn, I like your rings. And he actually put me on to cryptocurrency. This like 6 years ago.
Really?
When no one really knew.
Yeah.
I remember he told me, go buy Bitcoin. He showed me he had like 3 Bitcoin. He had like, I had never, I didn't even have 10K to my name back then. He showed me like 60 in an app. I'm like, yo, what?
Yeah.
So I had, he convinced me to buy Litecoin. And then that was a whole nother venture I ended up taking and making a lot of money. It was just like learning about the markets, teaching it, as well as investing the money I was making from teaching. And like that was a big catalyst into like me going into sneakers, established, like, for sure.
Yeah.
But college was like, it's mid, and I think in today's age, like, it's a real debate. Do you go to, let's say there was I don't know, some sort of YouTube crash course you could take for $4,000 and this guy is making millions. Like, shit, I feel like out of 10 people, there'd be a good handful that might do that instead of go to college in today's age. Because they're seeing people like you host podcasts, come up a little bit, seeing people like me traveling around that they see they could do it. So those kids or that youth that has that belief, like, I just think that college is going to be a real, like, debacle for people, and especially the COVID babies, like not even being used to being in class. Like, bro, they're not going to college, bro. No, they much rather buy a course from someone like you that's going to teach. Like, let's say you make $100K this year just off the podcast. They rather buy your course for $2,000 than go to college for $20,000, learn about some shit they don't care about, you know? Or that's just how I think.
Yeah, especially once those courses become more like almost like accredited, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, because you know, like, the good thing about college is, like, you know that you can go get this degree, and this degree, you know what I'm saying, will, like, help you have a better chance of getting a job, you know what I'm saying, a certain type of job that pays a certain type of wage or whatever. Yeah. But, I mean, that's also not, like, nothing's guaranteed, you know what I'm saying? Guaranteed. How many people out there have a degree but can't find a job in their
There's field? A statistic behind it. Like, you know what I mean? It's like a high percentage, like 80% of people will never use their degree in their field. Like, they'll get a degree and they'll join a different field. So it's like, I don't know. I'm super glad I just went the route I went. I don't think college isn't it, but I feel like if you go to college, it should be because you're going to a prestigious college with other people of a high value network. If you just go to TCC just to get your degree, you're going to end up working some job, building someone else's business for 10 to 15 an hour, maybe a little bit more. Yeah. Depends on how you think. Right.
So how did your parents feel whenever you told them that, like, you were done? Like, did you drop out? You quit or what?
Yeah. Like, I remember actually, it was my birthday. I was probably like 21 or 22.
I guess that's a good time to tell them when you're.
I told my parents, I was like, when I get to 2,000 in profit, I'm gonna show you my spreadsheet. I'm dropping out and I'm taking this full time. Okay. It took me a while. I broke even for a year. Yeah. But like I would sell 3,000-4,000, but I would make like $60. Like that was probably the biggest eye opener for me. Like, damn, I got to learn business. Yeah. I sold shit for a whole year and probably gross spent and made back like around 50,000, but my profit was like 1,800. I'm like, oh, I'm doing some shit wrong. Yeah. But would you ask me? How did I tell them? What was the question?
How did they feel? Like, how was it?
So when I told them, I had already gotten to the point I told them I was going to get to. Mm-hmm. So it's different. It wasn't like, Mom, I dropped out. It was like, all right, here are the numbers. This is what I'm going to do. Soon I'll be making $5,000 a month. I'm going to do this to make $10,000. I didn't tell my whole plan. I was just like, this is what I'm going to do. Yeah. And at that point, you know, I'm grown, I'm making money. What can they really say? Yeah. And it's funny because I did get to the points I talked about. And for a few months, just because I wanted them to really understand, like, I'm really not going to work a job, like, I actually gave them some of what I made for probably like 4 to 6 months. So it's like, I have a firm belief that once you, like, I don't want to say break bread, but once you, like, give money to your parents or make enough to where you can do that, it's a whole different conversation with your parents. So if you're somebody that your parents don't support you or they're not hearing it, if your idea really works, you know, go give them $1,000 and be like, hey, this is just a little bit of the profits I made. Like, I'm just trying to show you this is serious. Yeah. You know, not the average person can't just give $1,000 away. Yeah. So I would say that made them really not comfortable. I don't know how they thought, but I know if I'm a parent, I have a kid, he's showing me a plan, he's making $2,000 a month, he scaled it up to 5 to 10, he's giving me a few thousand a month.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Do you, son? That's how I am. I'm like, yeah, it's good. It's all. But yeah, that's
crazy. So then we go on and like now we're into sneakers and stuff. So like why do you think it was sneakers? Like it was just your homie? Like you just saw it as a way to make money, or like I mean, there's so many ways to make money. So why sneakers? You know,
it started with Supreme. So like back in high school, I used to flip cell phones. I didn't understand Supreme, so I would. Like it'd be Christmas time, you know, people get new phones in high school, like, hey, let me buy your old phone so it doesn't collect dust. And I would just fix the screen and sell it or something like that. But how did it become shoes? When I moved to Denton, my first year living on my own, that's when I could kind of see like the real numbers of life. Yeah. Like if you don't make a lot, you don't do shit. You sit in the crib, you work, you come back. And I was like, this is not what I expected. No. Like, this is not how I want to live. Not at all. And obviously I didn't have the answers back then, but I was like, fuck, I have to risk something to get a reward. Yeah. So didn't even have a credit card at this point. I had my debit card, trying to buy Supreme. We know how it goes, especially back then. Thursday, Is it 9:59? Yeah, or 10:59, whatever time it is. It's 11 Eastern 10, so 9:59. I'm trying to buy Supreme for like 2 weeks in a row. Auto sold out, auto sold out, auto sold out. I'm watching YouTube videos. So it took me like a month to get one Supreme item shipped to my house. And it was a brick. Like I actually, the first one I ordered, I was so excited. I'm posting about it. Order got canceled. I'm like, oh, hell no. So then I ended up hitting a week later. Yeah. And it was like a restock brick t-shirt. I can go back up and probably put, it was like a terry cloth, white, ugly as shit. Yeah. And somebody that was way older than me at the time, probably like my oldest friend. Yeah. He used to work at a bank. He would come check up on me in Denton every so often because, I just moved in on my own. Kind of like a mentor. He saw like I had a Supreme bag put up against the wall, and he's like, oh, is that Supreme? Like, what are you doing? And I was like, yeah, I just got this. I'm going to start reselling. But how many people say that? Yeah. But the first question he asked me, which is what everybody should ask when someone says that, he's like, so are you reselling using your own money or do you have credit? This is how this credit shit happened. Like, I didn't just come out the womb like 700 only. No, it was like, this guy told me that. I was like, what's credit? And he was like, well, basically, instead of using probably that $200 you have in your debit card, you can go to the bank. You're 18. You can get a card. They're going to give you a limit. It's usually not under 1,000. I think I got like 2,000. And if you're familiar with how 0% works, that's how business is built in America. You get money from the bank that is no interest. So it means you could spend it all right now. You could buy the mic. You could buy the laptop. You could buy the lights. And now you have a year for your business to work because it's not owed for 12 months. Sometimes 0% on credit could go 12 months, 15. I've even seen 24 months, 0%. So imagine you get a card, it has 5,000 on it and it's not due till 2025. Yeah. And you're an entrepreneur, right? And you know what to do with it. Yeah. So obviously I wasn't an entrepreneur. I didn't know what to do with it, but he kind of guided me. So, got that credit card. It allowed me to get more inventory. Then I started the Instagram page. And I always tell people with the Instagram page, it's too much pressure to try to like start it and link it to yourself at first. That's the mistake everybody makes. I made the Instagram page and I was like, okay, handful of hype. It actually started out as Nick Supreme TX. I was like, I'm not going to tell any of my friends about it or follow myself or do anything until I hit like 2,000 followers. So at that point, no one can hate because your friends don't want to see you win. Like, your friends are probably watching this podcast later. Like, a couple of them, like, that's my boy. He's doing this thing. A couple of them, like, man, this guy's a goofball. Because there's haters out there. And you just don't need to hear that. So I didn't tell anybody about my shoe shit but him. And I would just post on that page only. And I did grow that to, like, 2K. Took me a while. Linked it to my personal. Dropped a website. Thought I was about to crush it. Ended up selling, like, one bouncy ball on my website. I thought I was going to, like, sell out. And that just kind of showed me, like, okay, you're taking steps, you got there. You're taking steps, you got there. You just got to keep taking steps. So I just saw the shoes were just something that was popular at the time because Kanye just started dropping Yeezys. And the last reason why I probably like sneakers is just because it's a low risk field if you play it right. Yeah. A sneaker typically doesn't go below retail. Yeah. So if you really have motion or you're dealing, you say you had 500 pairs in here, you probably know a few store owners. So if you needed to liquidate pairs, you could probably get what you paid for it at least. So I look at the sneakers as like a risk-free industry unless you get robbed or something, which, let's not wish that on anybody. Right. But yeah, I love sneakers, bro.
So, and like, I noticed that you did start with Supreme a lot. Yeah. But you also do, like, now you're like V-Loan.
Yeah. Oh, no, not now. V-Loan's canceled now, but I do have a picture I'm posting later with some V-Loan, but the only V-Loan you could wear is the studded V-Loan hoodie. It's like 500 retail. Everything else is canceled. Why? That Juice WRLD shit, canceled. Everything else got wooked. All V-Loan C's at this point are like wooks.
Oh, like fake?
But the hoodie with the studded, like, have you seen me? I'll show you a picture.
Yeah, show me.
But you can't whoop this, and it's actually hard. But look. V-Loan. This one. Oh. And on the back, it has, like, that's studs. Yeah. Like, almost like Swarovski. But to answer your question, like, I started with streetwear. But I think the more options you give a customer, the more they're likely to buy from you. So I'm not trying to be the one with the biggest shoe collection or the most Supreme box logos. I try to do that, and I felt how that was. I'm trying to be the person that has something you'll buy. It could be a hat, it could be a sticker, it could be a drink, it could be a pair of socks. Fuck it, handful of hype. Yeah. We got everything.
Yeah. I like that. That's what's up. So what was your biggest mistake Like when you started out, man? Like, because I know for me, like I said, bro, like that SneakerCon, bro, the first one that I went to, bro. First of all, like I sold, you know what I'm saying, everything a little bit low. I made a few $100. I think I made a few $100 profit. So like I wasn't mad, you know what I'm saying? It was my first sneaker event, you know what I'm saying? I was happy, you know what I'm saying? But where I messed up at is I ended up investing pretty much all that money into one shoe. Yeah, bro. One shoe, bro. It was the Midnight Navy. Gosh, bro. The Midnight Navy COJP Jordan 1s.
Oh, no.
Bro, and like at the time, like market on them was good. And I was like looking at the market data, you know what I'm saying? Like it was staying consistent. It was actually consistently rising. I brought them and like a week later, dropped, bro. All of it, bro.
Did you learn from it, though?
I did, bro. I learned a lot from
You never bought that shoe again, huh?
Never brought that shoe again. I've never brought that shoe again in my life, bro. And I've never also brought like, well, I mean, I have like invested, you know what I'm saying, like a lots of money into one shoe, but like not all of it, you know?
Yeah,
what I mean? Like,
never a good idea to invest all money into one shoe or one brand.
Yeah.
My biggest L's, though, like, that's kind of where I'm at. I haven't faced that many L's. I move strategic. I keep my camp small. And I'm just very transparent. I stand on good business. I'm posting a post later, like just talking about standing on good business. My biggest L at the beginning, I knew I couldn't do everything by myself. Once my Instagram got to like 2K, I hired a girl to start doing my posts. I showed her how I did it. Mm-hmm. That was cool. I was paying her $100 a month. Great investment. Yeah. And I knew I needed one or two more people to come to the shows with me, vend, you know, get the following up. So I used to call them my young gunners. Like, I forgot where I met them. Oh, it was a SneakerCon. I was in the trading pit and I had to go do something. I told my boy, like, hey, hold this down. I had like a Louis belt, some other shit. I was like, if he runs off, like, fuck. Yeah. But if he doesn't, he's a real one. And he didn't. He actually sold some of my shit while I was gone. I'm like, oh, you're a real one. So I didn't partner with them, but I was like, yo, let's like, I have the Handful of Hype page. Let's use it. It has 2K followers. It's growing. You just have a personal page. I'll give y'all the login. Let's create some shit. Long story short, I did the same thing you tried to do. Box logos are really popular. I don't know if people remember like the Brooklyn box logo. Like it's like that yellowish camo one. Yeah. We went to a show. It was I think it was Sneaker Summit. We drove down to Houston, had the most mediocre table, and the show was going so slow. I basically told them, yo guys, let's take the money that we have that we came down with and let's each buy a box logo. Like the most expensive shit. It's like when box logos are going for like $500 for a t-shirt.
They're still expensive, but so way more back then.
Keep in mind, these are my young gunners. They're years younger than me. Yeah. They're not babies, like, but maybe I'm like 21. They're like 16. Yeah. 17. Yeah. So I have money in the bag. I come back. One of my young gunners is like, hey, I bought a box logo. Like, I was like, oh, what'd you spend on it? He's like, I took $500 out the bag. It was my money. I was like, oh, where's the shirt? And he just pulled out a shirt. No bag, no receipt. I'm like, how do you know it's real? Like, oh no, he was like one of those know-it-alls. Like, no, it's good. I checked it. And we went to a SneakerCon like 2 weeks later, and it was fake. Or StockX or something told us it was fake. So that was like a little $500 L. That's nothing though. My biggest L, I gotta like leave people's names out of this because I don't talk shit about people, but I invested $10,000 into a pre-order on some Jordan 11 Cool Grays when that whole Zeta Kick shit happened. Are you familiar with that? So Zeta Kick's obviously like the biggest backdoor, whatever. So I knew somebody that had the in and had gotten many shipments delivered on time. But how Zeta Kicks used to work is you got to hit a minimum amount of spend, usually around like 5 to 10,000. And then it's going to take 6 or more months for that shoe to get there. But if you can get 10,000 worth of Cool Grays at retail and they're going to arrive in November, like shit, it's up. Yeah. So the guy that I knew had taught me a lot. He taught me about, PayPal business. He taught me different things to do, how to move my money. So I put the 10K in, but I put the 10K in not in cash, in credit, and ended up saving me. So put the 10K in, a year goes by, no shoes. Yeah. And I know the guy, I respect the guy. So I'm not feeling any type of weird way. I'm like, my money side, he's got me. Yeah. And then a news article came out and it was like Zeta Kicks being investigated for fraud or something, because he was basically trying to like dissolve his LLC legally to where like at that point he could basically say like, well, my business is closed, I don't owe anybody anything. Yeah. So that put all of our money on hold. So really I'm in the whole 10,000 for over a year, never got anything, but it ended up actually not being an L because I was able to charge it back. Yeah. So That's another lesson right there. Like, don't use debit cards. That was, if I would have, everybody else that was in on the order sent a wire, sent a Zelle, sent a Cash App, and they're still out their bread today. Yeah. So I got it was like a year and a half later. I didn't even know you could charge back that late. I charged back. I got my whole 10 back.
Dang, that's crazy. And and you mentioned credit a lot of times too. So let's go ahead and let's move to credit a little bit. Like, you already kind of told us what credit was, how it works for you and whatnot. So like, just talk about like, how can credit like benefit someone and how can credit hurt someone?
It's going to hurt you if you spend it on dumb shit. Try to impress a girl at a dinner. It's going to help you if you spend it on things where you can't lose. Everybody spends money. Not everybody gets rewards for it. All my cars get me rewards. If we probably spent like $10,000 on this last Yeezy day. That's depending on the multiplication of the reward points. That's probably like 10,000 miles, 20,000 miles to fly. You know how many miles it takes to fly like round trip in the States?
Not that many.
24,000. So 2 drops with the capital I'm working with is a free trip. Yeah. So it didn't start like that, but credit is just so powerful because what I said earlier, 0%. That's like the holy grail. You can it's like me giving you 5,000 right now and just saying like, look, you can pay me back $25 a month, but this time next year, I need that whole thing back. Yeah. Yeah. Shit. You could do a lot with that. Yeah. Doesn't have to be shoes, like not encouraging it, but you could do anything with that money and like you can grow it. So not only does it give you more spending power, get you rewards, but then as you do get older, 24, 25, and you're trying to get that house, you're trying to get that lowest car note, it's going to come in clutch heavily. But with credit, you know, your money can only go so far. Yeah. If you had $150K more, what could you do? Right. Money's like the number one things that makes businesses fail. They don't have enough to start. So credit is everything. Like, if I were to start anywhere, it would be credit. That was like the first book I read too. You do like credit courses and stuff like that? I did. I launched a course like in 2020. There was like 200 people that ended up joining it. A lot of them are really like well off right now in their credit and like how much access they have. I slowed it down recently just because it's 2023. A lot of people think they know how to use credit and they don't, and they're just washing the space right now. Yeah. My name's good in the credit space. So like, while it's getting that negative sort of connotation, I'm going to just back up, focus on the people in my group. And then when the hype dies down again, I'll probably help a few more people. But most people that follow me that would have made that move have made it by now, right? Yeah. If you keep seeing me post about credit and seeing me spend 50, 60, 100,000, pay it back. Now I'm in Jamaica. And you haven't like gone in yet. Like, it's too much hesitation there. So I still help people out with credit who need it, but I just like, I got to know them personally. And
how does someone that, especially that does like the courses and stuff, like how do you kind of deal with like that negative connotation that it does have to it? And like whenever people, you know, may say it's like a scam. Yeah. I'm saying this don't really work or don't buy this course. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's always going to happen because you have haters and people probably hate on me every day. I just don't pay attention to it. But it's like, one, I know my results. Yeah. I'll show someone my tax return. Yeah. A lot of people wouldn't do that. Right. Am I going to do that to close you? No, because if it goes that far, I don't even want to teach you. Yeah. Because you just don't have enough faith. Yeah. But that's always like the connotation of courses. You could pay and not get what you expected, or you can pay and get what you expected. So I just try to under promise and over deliver. And I try to give people more value than what they pay. So like, you know, my course started out as a phone call. It was like $200, but I would make sure when they got off that phone, they knew how to get to 700. They knew how to go get 4 cards for a couple thousand each. So you're paying 200, but you might go get approved for 10,000. It's worth it. And then I got approved for 100K in business credit and got my first business credit lines. Now I got over $250,000 in credit. So now it's like the price went up. So damn, what was I going to say with that? I lost my train of thought. But basically the negative connotation, it's always going to be there. But at the end of the day, you're either doing it or you're not. I just think courses are super powerful because again, like, you couldn't access information like this years ago. So, I don't know. I was going somewhere with that, but I lost it.
Why do you think people are so like afraid of credit?
Shit, credit's scary. You spend it the wrong way, you're in debt. Yeah. You know, you get approved for 10K. Because the thing about credit is, so I got approved for 2,000 on 0%. And if you're smart and you've been in the game a while, you know, 2,000 is like 8 shoes. Yeah. So you go spend that whole thing right now, get 8 shoes, make back 2,500. Yeah. Pay your bank back. You just put 500 in your pocket. Yeah. But when you first start spending money, you may have never spent 2,000 before. That might scare you to see that outstanding balance in your bank. Like I have just being transparent, like any big business does. I have certain business cards that have an outstanding balance of 25,000, but I got way more than that in inventory. You know what I'm saying? So it's scary because it's numbers and it's a sensitive topic, you know, and there is it's a black eye industry, you know, that's the whole thing with courses. But, yeah, that was where I was going with it earlier is, you know, people are scared of credit because of that. But what we were talking about earlier, I think you said, oh my gosh, I'm about to lose it again. You said something about like, how do you deal with the people hating or like from the outside? Damn, what was I going to say? Lost it.
So maybe if you think about it, you can come back to it.
Yeah, we'll keep going there.
So also like you've got credit, and now like I've also seen that you were into stocks and stuff. So how did you get into stocks, and talk about stocks a little bit?
Yeah, you're asking good questions, and like you're making me talk a lot. But hopefully, there's some gems in here.
It's a podcast, you know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to keep it short, but like when you ask these questions, I'm gonna go in. Yeah. I never invested in stocks. I thought they were like too slow of a gain for where I was trying to go. But what I've learned over the years of making a lot of money is, you know, the turtle wins the race for real. You could go run it up right now, but how long is that money going to last you? So as I'm running it up in cash on these sneakers, I'm going to pay myself first. So I'm putting it somewhere where it's going to grow. Because if I don't put it there, where's it going to go? It's not going to grow. It's going to fucking die. Yeah. I'm going to spend it on a first class ticket. I'm going to spend it on some shit I don't need. Yeah. So I'm just a firm believer in like, this is a good question you can just ask yourself. Like, if you were having a high level conversation with those top percenters like we were talking about, you know, and somewhere to ask you, like, what does your portfolio consist of? If you're someone to answer that question and be like, what is a portfolio? Or what do you mean? Or I don't have one. You fucked up. Yeah. So I'm trying to build my portfolio, balance it out. A good portfolio has not only stocks, it's spread out. So, you know, less risky, the most in that, least in the less risky. Most of my portfolio is shoes, though. So just think about a wheel. The largest percent is probably shoes. I have more money in crypto right now than stocks. So then it's probably crypto. Or no, then it's my savings, crypto, stock. So I want to put a house in there soon. I want to own some shit.
And what's the hardest thing like you've had to learn while like trading stocks?
So with the stocks, I'm kind of more hands off. Like, I'm just putting money in there and forgetting about it. Gotcha. But when I told you I met that guy in college who taught me about crypto, like I did start to day trade, and it's just, you can make a lot of money day trading. At one point I had a 50K account. That was my money that I was trading on, and I was making good withdrawals. But it's too emotional. You got to already have money to be able to just sit in your house and trade all day. Cause if we hit a button right now and all of a sudden we're up 2 bands, but it's as soon as you look away and look back and now it's up 2,400, you're going to look back. I'm gonna let it keep going. Then you go use the restroom. You're like, babe, we're going to go out to eat dinner tonight. You end up looking back at your screen, and now your shit's back down to 200. Yeah. And it's just that day after day after day after day. It was distracting me from a handful of hype and the business I was scaling. So, like, I kind of just decided to stop, like, day trading crazy. I still keep an account, and I'll take some signals, but I'm just more for, like, building the portfolio more passively now. I'll put my work and time into, like, the physical businesses.
So you say that you would say that you're kind of more of like a safe trader?
Yeah. I used to be risky, but nah, it's just I'm making too much now in the businesses I built to try to be, you know, being up and down in day trading. Like I could just do what I'm doing now, and that shit is gonna go like this, you know. So good question though.
So like, do you think like, so you were saying like how like it's too slow of a game and stuff. But do you think that you can make it to like a billionaire status like without being in stocks?
Yeah, there's so many different ways to get paid. Like so many. You could go to a restaurant today and be like, y'all don't have a podcast. I have a podcast. Like, you know, I'm not all the way there yet, but hey, look, this last video got 10,000 views. Do you guys want me to shoot you one? Yeah. If it does good, I'll come back and do it again. You could land $1,000 a month off one business doing that. Yeah. You land 10 of those businesses, you're making 10K a month. So you can get to a billion without stocks.
Billion?
Without stocks, yeah. There's probably some billionaires without stocks because they probably built businesses and sold them or started a company. Maybe that company came with stocks, but you can make a billion without stocks. But once you get a billion, you better put some of that shit in stocks. Yeah.
So also like, and you know, just like we touched on like the credit cards and stuff like that and the courses and like people maybe saying that's a scam and stuff. Let's talk about Forex a little bit. I know you were like dealing with Forex and stuff. Yeah. Which like a lot of people like kind of criticize Forex and stuff. So like, and honestly, bro, I'm one of those people that has always been skeptical of Forex. Because it's just something that I've never really understood. And I think, you know, a lot of times, like if I take the time to understand something, then I'm not as skeptical about it anymore. But explain Forex and like, what happened to Forex?
That's the thumbnail. What happened to Forex? We got Nick on the podcast. So do you know what Forex is? Like what it stands for?
I do not. Foreign exchange market.
Foreign exchange market. So the problem with Forex, just like courses, it's a black eye industry, kind of like NFTs. When NFTs was hot, people were making a lot of money and it was hard to see through the real and the fake. You just see people making a lot of money. So if someone comes to you and they know how to pitch you, you might, you know, go ahead and do it. So basically, Forex is all that is just like trading your money, not in stocks, not in crypto, but for different currencies. So like when I went to London, they have the Great British Pound there. The pound, you know, it could be I trade $1 and I get, you know, the pound actually weighs more than the dollar, not in weight, but like it weighs more on the money scale. Yeah, right. So if I give them $1, they might give me 50 cents in pounds. So once you understand that concept and you realize, oh, I can make money off that fluctuation, that's all Forex is. Just like there's a stock market, there's a foreign exchange market and currencies are moving every day. And if this to this is 100 points, you know, you can make money off that 100 points going up or going down. Yeah. That's a lot of people don't know about the markets too. You can actually make money when it goes down. Kind of hard to explain, but so that's what Forex is. Now, why do people, what happened to Forex and what was that wave? So do you know what network marketing is? Yeah. Okay. So the reason why a lot of Forex crashed out is because just like there was Advocare, right? And there was, what are the other big, like Pampered Chef? You know what that is? Pampered Chef is like kitchen supplies. My mom used to be in Pampered Chef. So basically it's like, okay, you join Pampered Chef, you know, you host a show a week at your house or at guest house and you sell our product and you get a commission off our product. Yeah. What'd you say?
Mary Kay or like
yeah, exactly. That's what network marketing is. Network marketing is you network and that becomes your worth. Right. So a lot of people that came up off Forex didn't come up off of trading every day and grinding their account to $1 million. It was okay. You know, there's different lanes to learn Forex. There's YouTube. There's this course, there's that course, but I was in the course that people were seeing the most results out of. It was called I Am, and that was basically a network marketing company that made a course around foreign exchange. So you would pay an amount monthly to get access to their course and their live educators. So they have like 30 live educators trading with you Monday through Friday. And that's cool. You could take their trades, you could learn. So if I'm trading, say you're my friend, I'm not trading, and you come to my house one day, and now I got a damn chart up, I got this measurement up. You're like, damn, Nick, you turned into a fucking engineer overnight. I'm like, nah, I'm just learning how to trade. Like, but some people are just goofy about it. Like, yeah, I'm gonna make $1 million. Like, I would always be cool. Like, yeah, I don't know everything, but like, there's something here. Yeah, let's figure it out. And people just like saw how serious I was taking it, and they believed in me. So, the reason why everybody's skeptical is so I'm paying that monthly for the service, right? Yeah. So now if you want to join, and I just showed you trading, I could tell you about it and you can go do YouTube, whatever. But if you see me posting, like I just withdrew $40 or like, hey, I just won this trade, you're like, Nick, what was that course you told me about? I'm like, yes, it's iMarkets Live. So I would send you my link. And obviously that link is an affiliate link. Yeah. So how those companies work is once you have 12 people join off your affiliate link, you make $600 a month, $150 a week, regardless if you trade or not. You're just making that. Once 30 people use it, you make $1,000 a month. Once 75 people use it, you make $2,000 a month. So the problem there is you could be a great salesman and believe in what you're doing, and it could be completely legit. Forex is completely legit. Yeah. But those 100 people that got started with you aren't going to have the same work ethic as you. Yeah. They're not going to have the same results as you. Maybe the first trade I took, I won it and made $5. Maybe the first trade you took, you lost $5. And you're just like, nah, fuck this. Like, it's not real. Yeah. So, you know, Forex is not a scam. You know, the wave kind of crashed out a little bit, but like I know people making a lot of money off Forex still. Right. I still trade Forex a little bit, but that was a big way. Like I was able to accumulate capital being in that company, teaching people how to trade. But, you know, you could ask anybody that follows me, like there's not one bad thing to say about how I was going about putting people onto the information. Yeah. You know, at the end of the day, I'm just trying to show people a skill set that I learned that has allowed me to make a little extra and travel and do certain things. So it's like people will take with that what they will, but that's kind of like the whole thing. And so now it's like everybody knows that it's just a network marketing company and they know that trading results aren't perfect. Yeah. You know, this shit's going like this 24/7. Like literally. You could do so much stuff, but it's like, it's a lot, bro.
Yeah. Dang, man, that sounds like a lot, though. I didn't realize, but you know, honestly, like I said, I was always skeptical of it. But like the type of people that I seen like promoting Forex, I knew that they weren't scammy people. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like I know that it's not necessarily like I know they're not trying to scam people, but like, what the hell is this?
Because some people only have that intention of, I want you to join my business so I get my check at the end of the month. And I'm not going to show you any other platform. I'm not going to teach you. You figure it out. But then some people are like, okay, I really want to help you, bro. When you come in, I've taken the time to make a system of how I went through the course. Do this one first, then do this one. Don't watch this video, watch this one. And that's kind of more what I did. I gave people a roadmap rather than just sending them a link and trying to get someone else started. Send you a link, give you a roadmap, make sure you understand. Maybe you won't last the race, but I'm gonna be with you while you're running it. So my name stay good. Because a lot of other people just looking at people as commission, and you can't do that in that industry.
So also, like all this stuff, you know, the credits, the stocks, sneakers, you know what I'm saying? It's all has basically like provided you with a means of income, you know what I'm saying? And like that means of income has allowed you to do like a lot of traveling. A lot. So let's talk about like traveling, man. Like what are some of your favorite destinations that you've been to so far? Because I've known that like you've been abroad, you've been in the States, you've done a lot. So like talk about that, man.
Anywhere international is lit. Food lit, females lit. Culture lit. Americans are boring. But if I were to like rate it down the list, probably London, Spain, Hawaii, Cali, Jamaica. Like I haven't been to a lot of places, but that's probably like the top. I'm trying to go to Asia this year.
Dude, I want to go to Asia so bad.
It's like $2,000 for the ticket.
She's Vietnamese, and they're like her grandparents, and they're from Vietnam and stuff. She still has family over there and stuff. Like, I want to go so bad, bro. I think that shit would be so.
Get ready to pay that $2,000 plane ticket.
I know.
Or have that credit.
But that's it though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the good thing about going like to a lot of these places too. But like, especially Vietnam, like that's the most expensive part.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Once you get past the plane ticket, everything else is like cheap. Like, it's
true. But then the cost of you not being at home working, if you work a job, that shit adds up. So like, that's why you need that passive or that, you know, that's why I like the sneakers too. Like, whole nother topic, but it's like, I don't believe in selling sneakers as a physically. I believe in selling sneakers as a business. So it's like, I never want to be the one handing you your sneakers. If I'm handing you your sneakers, you better be Michael Irvin or some shit. I better be like a exclusive, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm trying to get it to where the sneakers move. All I want to do in the sneaker space is analyze the market every week, spend tens of thousands of dollars on shoes, and just distribute them. And then whatever doesn't sell here, move it here. Whatever doesn't sell here, move it here, and scale that shit.
So, like, back to the traveling and stuff, like, what's some of the most interesting, like, cultural differences that you've experienced while traveling?
Shit, not being able to speak English in Spain was definitely one. When I was in London, I almost came back with, like, an accent. You feel like the outcast, like, over there, like, hey, let me get some fish and chips. Like, what else? I like Jamaica really showed me real third world. Like, the one thing traveling has done is just make me grateful. Like, in America, it's such ease of access. Go walk to the corner store, get some food, get a vape, order from Amazon. Like, other places, you can't do that. It costs more. Like, it's just, I can't explain it until you do it, but it just made me grateful to live in America. For sure. Rather, other than the food is better everywhere else. Like, we eat bullshit here. We eat dog food.
Do, bro. Like, that's one of the good things that, I've experienced with being with Skylar and like having her family that is traditional Vietnamese, bro. Like whenever like Thanksgiving and Christmas is in time, it's like traditional Vietnamese food. You know what I mean? Like
eating.
That shit be busting, bro.
Eating.
Like,
what?
I be eating, bro.
Need 10 plates.
They'd be low key surprised that I be eating everything. But I'm like, nah, give it all to me.
Oh, you're black. You eat this?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Like, yeah, I do.
It tastes like chicken. For real.
But nah, so like, what's one of the most adventurous things you've done, bro? Like one of the most daring things, like you're out, you know what I'm saying, abroad, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's one of the craziest things?
Damn, there's so many things I've done. It's like hard to even think about this.
You ever bungee jumped off of like 100-foot cliff building or something?
Nah, I never bungee jumped. What did I do that's crazy? Like, oh, okay, this is kind of crazy. I was in Miami, and I was around some of my mentors at the time. And we took a yacht out. And we ended up coming back, and Dennis Rodman was on like the other yacht right next to us. And this little like redheaded guy, he actually like started a business and just got valued at like a billion. Little nerdy guy, you and everything. He's like, I know. We just ate dinner. He's like, I know Dennis Rodman. like he's short. I'm looking down and I'm like, you don't know Dennis Rodman. He's like, I know Dennis Rodman. And just imagine we're sitting on a boat. There's a boat parked and Dennis Rodman's like sitting back with the cigar, like little, not an entourage, but like a couple of his friends.
Yeah.
So this guy gets up from our boat. His name is Chris. Walks over to Dennis. We're just like looking at him like he's such an idiot. Like Dennis Rodman has security, all that. And he just walks up to the boat, like talks to security. Security steps to the side. He goes up, daps Dennis Rodman up. They start chopping it up. He brought Dennis Rodman over to our boat. And we were like talking to Dennis Rodman for like 30 minutes.
Damn.
Dennis Rodman's crazy.
Knowing him?
Huh?
How did you end up knowing him?
I don't even remember. Like this guy's not at the time was a billionaire, but like when you're on the scene in Miami and you're making money on the come up, you're kind of around the same crowd.
Yeah.
So being at those restaurants and things like that, I don't know how he knew him, but that was lit.
So do you think traveling is essential?
Yes.
And why?
Makes you think. It's the only way to keep your brain going. Yeah. Doing the same shit every day in the same neighborhood, you can't think big enough. So like even when you think it's too much or we don't have it in our budget, that's when you need to take the trip. Right. And you don't know it until you take the trip why you needed it, but you got to take it. Like I say 4 international trips a year and I don't know if I say a number within the States, that might sound like unrealistic, but like for real, like 10, 15, 20.
Yeah, bro, because, I mean, in the States especially, bro, it gets so easy to go places.
It is.
It really is, bro. Like, I mean, last year alone, like, just selling sneakers and doing sneaker events, like, we went a lot of places. You know what I mean? So, like, I can only imagine, like, if you are someone that has, you know what I'm saying, like, the means to do it, like, it's just so easy to go to the States.
And just making the trips make sense. Like, you know, I pay for my videographer's way. Sometimes, like, I'll pay the plane ticket, I'll pay the hotel, but I'll make sure we have 4 or 5 pieces of content we're going to get in that's going to, you know, the views aren't going to get us paid. We don't have 100K subscribers or anything like that, not yet. But what's going to get us paid is, you know, the leads we get off of this and then capitalizing on that. So just being strategic. But traveling, yes, necessity, 100%. Got to go travel. If you haven't traveled in the last year, go travel right now. For sure.
So as we get to the end of this pod here, man, all I got left is what's next, bro? What's next for Nick? What's next for Nick Felix?
You know, I've been thinking about that a lot lately.
Yeah.
I don't want to really switch lanes anytime soon.
Yeah.
So I see myself in sneakers for the next like 3 to 5 years. I'm 26. You know, I'm making my goals my long-term goals for around 30. So
yeah, I
just want to own, bro. That's like I said, I want to own. I want to accrue a bigger following. So like I'm focused now on just like my biggest belief is like, you know, how we were talking about portfolios.
Yeah.
You know, not just stocks, crypto, real estate. I think in today's age, what people haven't realized yet is the most valuable asset you could have is a following.
Yeah.
A following can produce you more money than any stock portfolio can. You know, you said, could you make $1 billion off of, without having stocks? Well, what if you had 10 million followers and, you know, you got 10% of them to buy a $50 item?
Yeah.
You just made $1 million or more, probably something like that. But, if I were to summarize all in one and not talk too much like I have on this whole podcast, it's just, I really want to focus on upping the amount of people that are seeing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And doing these reels with SneakerCon is definitely helping that. Yeah. Like our last one just did 150K. Mm-hmm. Before that, it was hard to get to those numbers. But through collaboration and getting on different platforms, I just think we can cook this following up because we already know how to do it. You know, we know how to supply. I know how to market. I know how to sell. So just really turning the following into a cash cow and then buying real estate.
Yeah.
That's first thing that goes to my head. What about you?
What's next for me, man? You see it, man. This is what's next for me. You know what I'm saying? Like just grinding it out, trying to get like bigger and better names, trying to get, you know, bigger and better equipment, bigger and better studios, just trying to take this thing beyond, you know what I'm saying, the means that like a lot of people expect me to take it.
We need someone in Dallas. Like, it's not enough of this going on in Dallas.
Yeah.
You know a lot of people, but no, I like
get out here more, man. I definitely want to come out here, bro. I know a lot of people out here too, and like, there's just so much going on out here, bro. There's so many people that have so much to offer that I would love to like talk to a lot of them.
Sometimes just telling other people's story will, you know,
exactly.
You don't even have to tell your own all the time, but people have stories to tell, just like we did today.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad you invited me. I support you 100%. I see your work ethic. Like, a lot of people can't see that, you know, but I see how you move and I see how the support you have around you and shit. Like you said at the beginning, sometimes you got to get it out the mud. So got to start somewhere.
For sure, bro. Well, go ahead and drop all your socials to all the people. That way they can follow you and everything, man.
Cool.
Links in the description below as well.
Super simple. At the Nick Felix on Instagram. Same thing on YouTube. Credit page if you are interested in that. 700 only. And then obviously the brand we're here for today, Handful of Hype. All on IG, YouTube.
Bad, man.
TikTok, I'm not really on there too much. We'll be there soon though.
For sure. Be on the lookout, man. Coming soon. Well, man, that's all the time we got for today, bro. I appreciate you coming on. Everybody, Hates Jabber. I appreciate y'all for watching, viewing. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Wherever you're listening, hit that follow. Hey, until next time, until next week, we got another episode for you guys. I appreciate y'all for watching, listening, whatever you're doing. Y'all have a good one. We out.
Ja.
Dope, bro. Hell yeah, bro.
That was cool.
Man. Yeah,